What's up everybody, Brian Drolet here, and this is Brian Babbles. It used to be Brian's Babble blog, but I'm losing the blog because then people are like, well, technically since it's a video, it's a vlog, not a blog. So this video is all about how the heck did I, a guy from Queens, end up on one of the most iconic TV shows of all time with people from The Hills. People think I'm from Hollywood, they think I'm a rich kid like all the kids on Laguna Beach. The truth is, I'm from Queens, New York. After I graduated college, I started going on auditions for commercials and print shoots and things like that, and had an audition for an MTV show once called Damage Control. I got cast on that TV show for 5 episodes where I met my best friend Jordan Eubanks, who was also on The Hills with me. We both drove out to Los Angeles, and believe it or not, when we first moved out to LA, we were living with Lindsay Lohan's best friend and personal assistant in her house in Beverly Hills. That was when the Weezer song, Beverly Hills, first came out. It was very surreal. And here we were, just 2 guys, fresh off this MTV show, pursuing our dreams. Next thing you know, I'm living in Lindsay Lohan's best friend's pool house. But Brian, how did The Hills happen? Well, it turns out Lindsay at the time was dating Talon Torriero from Laguna Beach, who coincidentally was my first friend. It was both Jordan and I's first friend in Los Angeles. Talon had just filmed Laguna Beach, was living it up big in LA, living the life. I love Talon to this day, still one of my great friends. He currently does not live here in LA anymore. He lives with his beautiful wife in Nebraska. Talon, I love you, I miss you, buddy. Talon is actually, if you look at some of my earlier YouTube videos, who Jordan and I and Jason would make silly YouTube videos with. So now Talon's Laguna Beach friends, Lauren, Heidi, people like that, they're coming up to LA to party. That's where we meet them. Fun fact, most people don't know this, MTV and Heidi actually wanted to set me up with Lauren initially, but I've always been more of a brunette guy, what can I say? So then they said, why don't you meet Audrina? So Jordan and Heidi start dating. Jordan at the time is my roommate and my best friend. He's still my best friend, no longer my roommate. So Jordan and Heidi start dating. Next thing I know, Heidi tells Jordan, hey, Lauren and I are filming a spin-off show called The Hills. Do you want to be on it? To Jordan. Jordan signs up for the show. Now they're all asking me, his roommate and best friend, and the guy they're trying to set up with Lauren and Audrina, Brian, do you want to be on this show? It's going to be huge. And I said no multiple times. They were in my apartment, cameras everywhere, filming my roommate, and I said no. I avoided it for a few months because I didn't want to be labeled a reality star. I wanted to make my own movies like Be Like Trees and Dumbbells, and I wanted to be taken seriously as an actor. So I said no, but it was awkward because it made sense for me to film since I was in the friend group in real life and really meeting these people. I love Frankie. Frankie Delgado is still one of my best friends. Brody, super nice guy. Every time I see him out, we do shots together. Love Jason Waller. Such a great guy, so happy for him, his sobriety, his beautiful wife, Frankie's beautiful wife. Jordan's got a beautiful wife now. I'm the only one, I'm still single, guys. Maybe I should have let them set me up with Lauren after all. But so anyway, in my real life, I was pursuing acting. I'd already done an MTV show, so MTV kind of knew me. So the girls kept pressuring me. MTV started pressuring me. They said, Brian, why don't you want to do this show? And I said, because I want to be taken seriously as an actor and as a comedian. So they said, well, we'll film you doing stand-up comedy at the Laugh Factory. And they did. It was my first time performing stand-up comedy at the Laugh Factory. No pressure whatsoever, right? The other comics roasted me. I sweated profusely from my armpits. But something most people don't know is I actually wrote a little message from my mother, and I put the word smile, and I wrote mom on my wrist because I was so nervous. And looking down, my mother has passed away for those that don't know. I looked down at my wrist, saw a little smile, saw mom. I was able to do it. They ended up cutting that scene out of the show. And to be honest with you, so MTV agreed. They said, we'll film you doing comedy. And I had a part in a movie. They said, well, come on the set. We'll film you doing that. They filmed all that stuff, cut it all out. In fact, when we were filming the series, they told us it was about young people in Los Angeles. They didn't tell us it was focused only on the girls, which is fine. Listen, I'm so grateful I was a part of that show. To this day, my friends call me Brian from The Hills. From The Hills is like, it might as well be my last name. It's something I'll just never escape, and that's okay. I embrace it, I find it funny. That's why I made it a part of my film, Be Like Trees. It comes up in the most random times in my life. Sometimes I'll be on my 5th date with a girl, and then that's when she'll reveal to me that she's a huge Hills fan, has been hiding it this whole time, and she'll be like, why did you crash Lauren's party on episode 1? Why did you and Jordan do that? And I'm like, whoa, chill out. Waiter, check please. Just kidding. More drinks, more shots. But people are intrigued by the show. They want to know, is it real? Is it fake? All of this stuff. Guys, I would say season 1 was the most real season because we didn't know what we were making. We were just being our authentic selves. And it was a wild ride. There was so much coming at us all the time. So yeah, so MTV said, okay, we'll film you in your element. We'll present you as a working actor and comedian. So I thought, man, that can't be so bad. And then at the time, Jordan and I were making our first independent movie that we raised money for. I wrote the script, and we made that a part of the storyline and everything we talked about on the show. We thought, this is gonna be great PR. But those MTV editors, you cut it all out. You cut it all out. I can't blame you. You gotta focus on your storylines. So they said they were gonna present me how I wanna be presented, so I did it. And all in all, I feel fine about the way I came off on the show. A lot of people wrote some mean comments online. Some girl called me the ugliest person she's ever seen in her life. Another person said I look evil. But hey, that's people for you, right? I'm sure there'll be some mean comments here too. Or not, because nobody watches my videos, apparently. But yeah, so I got cast on MTV's The Hills. I guess you could say it was right time, right place, serendipitous, meant to be. People always say, are you gonna be on the reboot? Are you gonna be on the new show? Guys, you never know. I have other projects that I'm focused on. Really, feature films is my thing. It's what I love. I'm trying to be more active here on YouTube because YouTube is the MTV of today. So I just wanted to tell you guys how that happened. I graduated college, started going on auditions and castings for print jobs, commercials, and then I got sent to MTV for an audition. And then I actually did another MTV show after The Hills. I did MTV's Disaster Date, which is a hidden camera prank show where improv actors like myself would make the date a disaster. So, right time, right place. I was also an actor in the industry. I think it was just meant to be. So that's how I was cast on MTV's The Hills. Now, if you're out there and you want to get on MTV and you're saying, well, yeah, that doesn't really help me at all, I'll tell you how I got the first MTV show before The Hills. I made a videotape of myself. This is back before smartphones and the internet, not to age myself too much, but I made a videotape of myself on VHS just doing random characters and impersonations. I'd say I did like 8 or 9. It's actually on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. It's called Brian Drolet Crazy Randomness. I made this video and I walked around Manhattan and I walked into every talent agency there was and I handed them this tape. And I said, I'm an actor, I'm looking for opportunity. So many people laughed at me, they said it was unprofessional. But this one woman, I love you to this day, Deborah, she wasn't even an agent. I think she was the front desk like secretary at an agency. She saw it, she loved it, she called me up. She said, I'm recommending you to a friend at MTV Casting. She sent the tape to MTV Casting. Next thing I know, MTV Casting in Times Square calls me into their offices. I go in there, I interview with them. They ask me all about myself, what I'm interested in, and I tell them I love comedy, I love doing silly characters, and that's what I want to do. And then they call me back a few days later to audition for Damage Control. I got that part. I met Jordan Eubanks, still my best friend to this day. Next thing you know, we're on The Hills, and the rest is history. So, if you got something you want to do, if you want to be on TV, if you want to make movies, if you want to be in the entertainment industry, put yourself out there. Put yourself on tape, do what you can do it to the best of your ability, and just go for it. And when people tell you you're unprofessional or this video is not good enough, just smile and nod and keep doing your thing. Keep getting better. You'll only get better with everything you try. And who knows, maybe you'll be on the next huge television show. Thanks for watching. Brian Babble.